Good day everyone. In this video, I will discuss to you the mathematical language and symbols. But before we proceed to our lesson proper, let me first introduce to you the learning objective of this discussion. So in this lesson, the students are able to recognize that common words, phrases have specific meanings, translate English words and phrases into mathematical symbols and expressions, apply mathematical terms, language, and symbols to solve problems, and develop the correct use of language of mathematics. Okay, so let's start with our discussion with this question: what is the difference between English and mathematical language? So let's have the comparison of English and then mathematics. So in English, noun means it is the name of person, place, things, events, and etc. While in mathematics, yung noun sa mathematics, it is the numbers or expressions. Verbs in English is the action words, while the verb in mathematics is the equal sign or inequality sign. And we have the pronouns. So in English, pronouns, it replaces the nouns, while in mathematics, it pertains to the variables x and y. So let's have an example of between English and then mathematics. So in noun, name given to an object of interest. So we have the noun. Example is Ben, Cavite, Chalk, and etc. While in mathematics, yung noun, katumbas ng noun sa English is yung expression. Say for instance, 5, 4z plus 2, and 10x. Then in sentence, so sentence means it gives a complete thought. So example sa English is, Julie likes Paris. Then we have 6 and 8 are composite numbers. While in mathematics, example ng sentence niya that gives a complete thought is m plus n is equal to p. So it gives a complete thought. Then 12 plus 21 is equal to 33. And the square root of 16 is equal to x over y. So yun yung pagkakaiba ng English and then mathematics. So consider the mathematical sentence 5 plus 2 equals 7 as a sentence of English rather than mathematics. So say for instance, hindi natin iisipin na that it is on math, but iisipin natin siya, i-consider natin siya as English. So it contains 3 nouns. So we have 5, 2, and then 7. And this plus is what we call the conjunction in English, and equals is what we call the verb. Then let's have to translate, or let us determine, or let us discuss how are you going to translate a specific sentence into a mathematical equation or a mathematical sentence or a mathematical expression. So remember that when we are going to use is, it pertains to a verb in mathematics. So it is yung katumbas niya sa mathematics is equal, yung is. So say for instance, we have 3 is the square root of 9. So is here is the verb, and we have 3 the numbers. If you're going to translate that into a mathematical equation, we have 3 is, so sa mathematics equals yan, the square root, so we have square root of 9. So ganun siya. Then another, 5 is less than 10. So 5 is less than 10, so meaning pag less than, it pertains to the operation subtraction. And is equals. So we have, kapag less than ang ginamit natin, yung pagsulat niya sa mathematical sentence or mathematical expression is mauuna yung after ng less than na word. So after ng less than, we have here 10. So ito yung uunahin natin. Then we have here 10, then less than is subtraction, 10 minus 5. So this is how are we going to translate a sentence into an expression. And we have the product of 6 and x is 8. is 18. So, product, ibig sabihin, multiplication. But, in algebra, hindi natin ginagamit yung times or yung symbol na x as times because magiging redundant siya because we have the variable x. So, kadalasan in algebra is we use parentheses or we just itabi lang natin, pagsamahin lang natin yung given a variable or given the number. So, we have the product of 6 and x. So, we have to multiply 6 and x. So, the product of 6 and x, so simply just write 6x. Is, so we have here the word is, so it is equal. So, we have equals, then 18. Now, what is the difference between a mathematical expression and a mathematical sentences? So, in mathematical expression, name given to a mathematical object of interest which may be quantity, number, and combinations of this using different operations. So, it is just a combinations of number with the use of different operations. While a mathematical sentence, it pertains to the expressions that or it express complete mathematical thought about the relation of the mathematical object to another mathematical object. So, meaning to say that in mathematical sentence, meron na tayong ginagamit dyan na is or sa math, it pertains to equal sign or inequality sign. But in mathematical expression, just the combination of numbers and with the use of different operations. So, let's have an example of a mathematical expression given a mathematical phrase. So, we need to translate mathematical phrase into an expression. So, number 1, we have 6 times the sum of x and 5. 6 times the sum of x and 5. So, sum, ibig sabihin, plus. Then, 6 times, so ibig sabihin, you're going to multiply 6 by the sum of x and 5. So, i-add daw natin muna si x and 5, then multiply it by 6. So, if you're going to convert that or translate that into a mathematical expression, we have 6, then we use parentheses, then add the two variable or add the two quantity which is x plus 5. Okay. Next, the difference of 4 and k divided by 14. So, the difference of 4 and k divided by 14, difference, so ibig sabihin, yung the operation, yung gagamitin nating operation is subtraction, then divided by 14, so we need to divide it by 14, kung ano yung sagot ng 4 and k. So, in mathematical expression, we are going to subtract 4 minus k, then divide it by 14. Or we can use, or we can write this like this one, fraction. 4 minus k over 14. So, pwedeng this one, you can rewrite this as like this one, yung division is yung sign niya or in fraction. Then number 3, 7 added to the product of 10 and r. Okay, product of 10 and r, so we are going to multiply 10r, then added to 7, so plus 7. Or you can write this as 7 plus 10r. Pwede po yun. Because since this is addition, wala namang magbabago kung i-interchange natin yung terms. So, parehas pa rin yung value niya. Then, the product of 16 and x. So, you just multiply the 16 times x or simply 16x. So, magkatabi lang po siya. So, in algebra, hindi natin ginagamit si x as multiplication because magiging redundant po siya. Okay? So, we use parentheses or either just write this as one term. Magkatabi lang. Then, let's proceed to the mathematical sentence. So, same mathematical phrase, ano yung pagkakaiba ng sentence and then the expression. So, dito natin makikita. So, same lang yung given, 6 times the sum of x and 5. So, kapag ganito lang yung given, ito lang, na 6 times the sum of x and 5, expression siya. Pero since we are dealing with the sentence, meron ako ditong nilagay is 7, so ibig sabihin, mathematical sentence na siya. Meaning to say that it expresses a complete thought. Okay? So we have equals, then 7. Then the difference of 4 and k divided by 14. So wala siyang thought if we just, hindi natin isasama si is 13. So ito lang. Pero since this is mathematical sentence, so we have is 13, so equals 13. So complete thought na rin siya. And same with number 3. So 7 added to the product of 10 and r is equal to 5. So 10r plus 7 is equal to 5. Or simply 7 plus 10r, 7 plus 10r is equal to 5. Okay. And the last one, the product of 16 and x is 80. So 16x is equal to 80. These are the difference of mathematical sentence and mathematical expression. So let's proceed to the discussion of vocabulary and grammar of the language of mathematics. So we can easily write about things, sets and functions, and some others using the language of mathematics. The following summarizes the commonly used vocabulary and grammatical rules in mathematics. So ito yung mga ginagamit natin. So we have here the union. So union, example niya, A union B or B union A. Meaning to say that all the elements of A and B. So union of set and A. Set A and set B. Then the intersection, ibig sabihin, what is the common element between A and B? A. Intersection, ito yung ginagamit nating symbol. So we have A intersection B. So the intersection of set A and set B. And we have here the symbol element of. So x is an element of x. So x is an element of set X. And this one is subset. So A is a subset of B. So meaning A is a subset of B. So we have here the sign for subset. Ito yung ginagamit natin. Then for proper subset, so anong kinaibahan ng subset and proper subset? Sa subset, yung symbol niya is meron siyang line dito after itong U na pa left, pa right. And then the proper subset is wala po siyang line sa baba. So A is a proper subset of B, set B. Then this one is, it pertains to the word or. So this conjunction, ibig sabihin A or B. Okay. And for and, ito yung symbol na ginagamit sa mathematics. So A and B. So yung not or the negative or negation, we use this one. Then ito, parang negative sign siya. So negative B or not B. Then itong arrow na to, it implies if then. So A, if A, then B. Kumbaga dito sa conclusion makikita to. If A, then B. Then itong sign naman, if and only if. So we have A, if and only if B. Okay. Para naman sa therefore, we can use this sign. So therefore, A, so imbes na therefore yung isusulat natin, we just use the 3 dots na parang pa-triangle. And this one is for all. So for all X, meaning kapag nakakita kayo ng ganitong sign or ganitong symbol, for all X yung ibig sabihin yan. And yung E na pabaliktad, ibig sabihin there exists an X. And this symbol such that, so X such that X is equal to 2n. So X such that X is even. And we have the equivalent. So yung equivalent is 3 line. Kasi kapag 2 line lang, ibig sabihin equal siya. Pero since this 3 to, so 4 is equivalent to 1 modulo 3. This is how we're going to read that. So yun yung mga ginagamit na symbol of sets and on sets and logic. And we have the basic operations and relational symbol. So, ito naman yung mga ginagamit natin, kadalasan na ginagamit natin in translating mathematical phrase into mathematical sentence or mathematical expression. You have to use addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and ito is composition of functions. And we have equals, not equals, and inequality sign. We have the greater than, less than, greater than or equal, and less than or equal. Then, for the set of numbers, ito yung mga ginagamit. Dapat maging familiar tayo sa mga ganitong symbol. So, ito is for real numbers. And we have Q for rational numbers. N, double N for natural numbers. And complex numbers. Ganyang symbol sa tandaan. And for integers, we use the double Z. Okay. So let's have an example on how to translate the following phrases into a mathematical expressions. So number 1, the sum of 8 and 9 divided by x. So how are we going to translate that into a mathematical expression? So the sum of 8 and 9. So ibig sabihin sum, isa-isahin natin siya, so you're going to add. So sum of 8 and 9, so we can write this as 8 plus 9, then divided by x. So divided by, pwede nating lagyan dito ng parenthesis to, then i-divide natin siya by x. So divided by x. Or simply, we can rewrite this as fraction. We have 8 plus 9, the sum of 8 plus 9, 8 and 9 rather, over x. So divided by x. So we can write this in this way or in fraction. Number 2, the age of a woman 15 years ago. So 15 years ago, ibig sabihin, ilan yung edad ng babae 15 years ago. So ibig sabihin, you're going to subtract the age of a woman. So age of a woman, say for instance, we let the variable A. Say for instance, the age of a woman is, let A be the age of a woman. Then 15 years ago, so the age of a woman 15 years ago, so we have minus 15. So ganun siya. So yung age niya ngayon, minus 15, that is the age of a woman 15 years ago. Then the sum of 3 consecutive even numbers. So, kapag sinabi natin consecutive even numbers, sunod-sunod na even numbers. So, how are we going to translate this into an expression? So, 3 consecutive even numbers. So, di ba meron tayong even numbers na 2, 4. Say for instance, meron tayong 2, 4, 6. So, 3 consecutive. Sunod-sunod siya. And, say for instance, ililet natin si 2 as x. So, ito yung pinaka-first even integer natin, which is 2. So, ano yung i-add natin sa 2 para maging 4? So, you're going to add plus 2 rather, to get 4. And, ano yung i-add natin sa 2 para maging 6? So, you are going to add 4 para maging 6 sa 2. So, 2 plus 2 is 4. Then, 2 plus 4 is 6. So, if we are going to let x be the first even integer, what would be the second integer? Ano yung inad natin dito? We have 2. Okay, so we have to write this as x plus 2. Then, the third integer rather is, since the third integer is 6 here, and then we add 4 to get 6, so therefore, x plus 4. Therefore, the sum of 3 consecutive even integers, if we are going to translate this into an equation or an expression rather, sum, you are going to add them. So, since hindi given dyan, so we represent the consecutive even integers by the variable x. So we have x plus 2 plus x plus 4. So the sum of 3 consecutive even integers. Number 4, 7 more than a number is 12. So 7 more than a number is 12. So more than, ibig sabihin plus, and a number is 12. A number, we are going to represent a number by the variable. Say for instance, this is p. And we have here 7. And then is equal. Then we have here 12. So simply, you can rewrite this as 7 plus p is equal to 12, or we have to write it as p plus 7 is equal to 12. So this is how are we going to translate phrases into a mathematical expressions. Next, translate each mathematical expression into an English phrase. So say for instance, we have 3x plus 2. So 3x plus 2, since 3x is this 3x, we have here the operation. Meron siyang operation na multiplication. Then plus, addition, then we have 2. So first, the product of 3 and x increased by 2. So pwedeng ito, the product of 3 and x or 3 times x increase by 2. So increase, ibig sabihin add, mag-a-add ka ng 2. Pwede po yan. And the next one, 2 added by the product of 3 and x. So 2 added by the product of 3 and x. So multiplication pa rin siya since we have here the word product. And 2 more than the product of 3 and x. So 2, ginamit natin si more than, the product of 3 and x. So the product, ito muna yung mauuna. So we have 3x plus 2. Next, 10 minus 2y is 2. So 10 minus 2y is equal to 2. So we have to translate this into an expression, into an English phrase by pwedeng 2y less than 10 is equal to 2, is 2. So yung equal dito, we replace this as is, and we have here 2y, since the operation is subtraction, so we can use less than. Okay? So pag translate natin siya into an English phrase, mauuna yung 2 kapag ginamit natin si less than. Mauuna yung after ng subtraction na sign. Then, pwede namang 10 decreased by 2y is 2. Or pwede namang the difference of 10 and 2y is 2. So we use difference for subtraction, we use decreased by for subtraction, and we use less than for subtraction. And we have the last one is 10 minus the product of 2 and y is 2. So simply, kung ano yung nandyan, kung paano natin basahin say mathematical expression, ganun din natin i-translate into an English phrase. So 10 minus 2y, so product of 2 and y, to determine that multiplication siya, we use the word product, is 2. So is 4 equals. So this is how are we going to translate a mathematical expression into an English phrase and English phrase into a mathematical expression. Another is A times the quantity B plus C. So we have the sum of B and C multiplied by 3. So since multiplication to, we use the parenthesis, and multiplication, the sum of B and C multiplied by A. And pwede ring A multiplied by the sum of B and C. So pwedeng ganon. And we have A times the sum of B and C. So we use always the sum or addition. So this is how are we going, this is how are we going to translate a mathematical expression and an English phrase to mathematical expression. So it ends our discussion in lesson 3. Thank you and God bless.